So I was at the CMBA event this week, and FSRA had the opportunity to come to the stage and share some about what they're seeing and what they're going to be looking for. And when it comes to FSRA, I know we all have mixed feelings about them. On one hand, they do protect consumers. They do remove some of the bad energy and bad forces out of the industries, those people committing fraud and doing things of that nature. On the other hand, they are very stringent with us, very strict. They have a lot of duplication in process when it comes to things like FinTrack for bank files, when the banks themselves are doing that and have whole systems and tons of money invested in it. So there's a lot of waste and things that I think waste individual brokerages and brokers' resources on having to duplicate. I totally agree that on the private alternative side that FinTrack should be done because there's not a banking body necessarily reviewing that client and that file. So there's huge opportunities for fraud. But that's besides the point. Really, what we want to prepare for as brokers and agents is in the event that FSRA does audit our brokerage or us as individuals, is our file going to pass, or are we going to face some penalties? So I've always struggled with this. We have a lot of documents, and as the principal broker for Tango, Ontario, it's something that weighs heavily on me, knowing that our clients are in a good position, but also that our brokers, are doing a good job. So we have very defined compliance processes. We have Carrie as our national compliance manager who's gone through everything, kind of done an internal audit on us there and said, okay, shore up here or improve this. And so we feel like we have a very good base of documentation there. But then when I was listening to FSRA yesterday, I realized there's stuff that we can do that is so simple just to add to the file, and it doesn't have to be a very strict document process that everyone follows. It's just little things that we can do that would improve it come the event of an audit. So, okay, FSRA said base kind of level audit. They're going to come in. They're going to look that your disclosures are accurate. They're going to look for that FinTrack and PEP. They're going to look for all the basic things that you have to put into your compliance package. But then they're going to go one step beyond this, and they're going to apply what they call a reproduction test. And basically what this is given the parameters of the file, can they determine why you made these decisions for the client? So why did you put the client in the variable mortgage? Why did they take a fixed 10-year mortgage? Why are they going private? Could they have gone alt? Did you explore that? Did you try to exhaust all possible options before you put them in this higher rate, higher risk product? And that's what they're going to do. So based on what you submit, that's what they're going to use to determine if that was done. So this got me thinking, we've added quite a bit to our package, like a disclosure to the client that goes above and beyond it, outlining the risks of all mortgages, and then we highlight the ones that are relevant to the one they're taking. But it got me thinking that we should even add little summary stories. It doesn't have to be much, but explaining sort of where the client came, what was the journey like for them, why was this done? Did we try to go to a few other lenders first? Was it declined for LTV? Was it declined for this? Because when the file's looked at, that will add that clarity for the reproduction test. So these are just little things that I think all of us would benefit. And I know there's some brokers out there doing an incredible job. We have a team coming over and they showed me what they do for their compliance, and I was blown away by the level of detail they have. So there's really high standards of people who are just excelling at this incredibly. And then there's people who are just doing the bare minimum. And the vibe I got from FSRA was that the bare minimum is no longer going to be good enough. They were very clear that they targeted large brokerages first, and now they're moving on to the small and medium-sized brokerage. So obviously they've been able to build out a team of staff around all these changes and regulations, and now they will look to levy the fines to pay for those staff. So on your side of things, whether your brokerage has strict guidelines in place already, or if they're a little loosey-goosey, you can start to do this yourself just to ensure that you as an individual are protected from any kinds of fines or negative outcome. So obviously your basic stuff, complete packages, having some sort of know your client form in there, having that additional disclosure, and then adding just some additional notes about why the decisions made were made. And doing this is beneficial for you if, like, 5 years, fast forward 5 years, they're looking at a file from today. Are you going to remember that one text message you got from the client saying, hey, I really want to go variable because rates are coming way down? Probably not. But if you have it documented, included in your notes, it's there in case you need it. So protect yourself from future risk and start implementing some of these processes. If you are on a team that's not doing this, reach out to us. We have a national compliance department, and we are very cautious about compliance because it's make or break for the industry. And especially as more AI and automation start coming in there, it's going to be very cut and dry about how they're going to look at files, but also at the speed at which they can start reviewing and auditing files. So I think you'll start to see way more audits. Another piece here is if you're feeling overwhelmed as a team lead or as a brokerage owner, you can join the Tango Ontario family, and we have all of this compliance and systems in place built out for you. So it takes that weight and that cost off your plate. But on an individual level, just start adding a little bit more meat to your compliance packages. It will protect you in the long term, and it will be worth it. Take care.